to me. For Christmas, I gave my ex-wife $500 to get my son a PlayStation gaming system. She used the money to get all four of her kids, my son included, a lesser gift so that all of them would have something for Christmas.
Aw.
I am so upset and enraged about it, but my current wife told me to leave it alone. My wife has a big heart, Terry, and said that maybe I should have considered sending gifts to my son and to his siblings since I know that the dad is not in the picture for the other kids. And my ex wife is struggling to take care of all of those kids. I'm still mad though. I gave her the money for my son. And for those other kids, what do y'all think about this?
Not
No, I'm
those-
sorry, not for those other kids. I gave the money for my son, not for those other kids. What do you guys think? So what do you guys think about this? I personally feel him on this. It's touchy because he does have four children. Only one is his seed. But at the same time, she has to understand that only one is his seed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not obligated to all your other tribes because I have a child by you. I'm obligated by my seed. So now if he had extra money to give gifts, then fine. But I shouldn't have to slight my son because you have three other children.
Yeah, that's a tough one though.
See,
So
I would end up slighting my son to try to help your other three. And so my son wanted the PlayStation. And they daddies, I don't know what's going on. But I got money for my son PlayStation, is what I'm saying. So then I got to curb him so that I can buy three other lesser gifts for her children that's not mine.
I'm
What
on
do
the
you guys think?
I'm on the fence with this because he gave $500 for her to get the one child a PlayStation.
Right, right.
And she used it to get lesser gifts for all of the kids so that they all could have something. Like I have a big heart and I could see myself doing something like that. I don't know that she was totally wrong and she was totally right. I'm kind of like 50-50 with this situation. And I feel like his wife, it's like it's not it doesn't hurt you. And if the son doesn't have, buy the son a PlayStation now and leave it at your house. So when he come over there with you, he have it or whatever like that. But I wouldn't be mad at my ex-wife and be pissed because she did that.
So the,
You feel
you
that
got the
way?
mic, Turk. So I'm gonna let you speak on the Turk, but real quick, I would say the reason I would be pissed is not because she's trying to help the other three children. It's that like exactly what Turk said is inconsiderate because you taking from my seed. I didn't send no 500 for your other three children though. You know that. So why? Yeah, go ahead.
She was
Turk.
very inconsiderate. He has every right to be pissed. She was super inconsiderate, and she knew what she was doing, and she was being very, very sneaky about that.
Yeah.
And she took it upon herself. She could have called him and asked him, and that's where the problem is. She could have called and asked him, "Look, this is the situation. Would you have a problem with this?" And she made a choice that was very selfish on her behalf. So he has every right to be pissed at her.
I
Every
agree.
right.
I
And
agree.
what happens is that people that have bleeding hearts, and we have bleeding hearts, it's not that he wouldn't have done that. She did it on purpose, and she was very sneaky about that.
Right.
So he has every right to be upset about that.
Right.
Every
She was intentional
And
because
he's upset about the action. He may not be upset about the. He's upset with her.
With her.
He may not be upset about giving the other kids a gift, just how she went about it. Yeah, but he has every right to be pissed.
yeah,
I
I
see
agree
what
with
you're
Turk
saying.
100%.
I see what
so
you're
that's
saying.
what I mean. She had just like you called me and say what you done did. You had the opportunity to call me before you done did, and you can say, well, look, Stan. I got these other three kids and their daddies ain't come through for them. So if you don't mind, I would like to take the 500 and kind of divide it up a little bit to help the other three. And then I get to say, hell nah, you can't do that. And so then what I could do is get them three lesser gifts, right? I go get them $200-300 gifts, you know what I'm saying, and make them suffice and tennis shoes or whatever they need. But my son is my son. And so I don't have, you can't deprive mine because yours ain't in your life. I didn't make that decision. That's your decision. So you got to slide off a little bit. Don't deprive my son now because I need him to get that PlayStation. Yeah, I need him to have that.
I'm
and then
on
we'll
the
talk
fence.
about the other three, but you can't take that PlayStation money to suffice those three. So I know you on the fence. 'cause
Is
my
anybody
wife
else
can give
on the
all
fence with me?
Anybody else on the fence?
Anybody
got
else
an
on the
opposite
fence with
opinion?
me?
Anybody think that she was right in what she did? Maybe.
There's no right in that.
Yeah, I don't
No.
see it right in
No
that.
right in that.
What y'all say, Facebook?
Overlook it. You can overlook it, as a woman or as a person who's sympathetic. You can overlook it. But there is no right in that. Let's be clear about that.
Let's be
There's no
clear.
right.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. It may
She
not
was
be right.
Very intentional in being deceitful.
Right.
Deceitful.
She was
Right.
being deceitful.
She
And
didn't-
we don't know, and that's the assumption that I'm making.
Right.
Because he's upset about it. Now, if she asked him and he turned it down and said no, then that's a problem with him as
That-
well.
yeah,
But he
that's-
has that right to make the decision. The problem is that we are always looking for approval from other people. and we want them to see things the way that we see them. But that isn't always the case. You have every right to be selfish. You have every right to make the decision you want to make, and I have every right to have to sit with it, or I have every right to counter that.
That's
Exactly.
true.
And that's the problem. We want everyone to be like us. So even if he says no, and she went and did it anyway, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I think
Yeah.
so. When you say you're on the fence, what makes you be on the fence about it?
Meaning, I guess I'm just on the fence because I feel like, she did what she did out of her desire to make sure all of her kids were straight. And I know she went about it the wrong way. It was deceitful, but I mean,
Yeah, once you say deceitful, then you can't say but. Like it's at the end. Like deceitful, that's the end. That's how you end it. That's not. Miss Tawana, thank you so much. She said we're looking amazing on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Thank you much. Thank you much for watching. We appreciate all of you guys, Joel, everybody, much for being on this. So yeah, I would say it's a no for me. I would be in my feelings a little bit about it. I'm having a similar situation. It's not quite that, but it can be tricky when you have other children involved. When you have a child by somebody, it can get a little tricky. And I understand she has 4 children and she wants them to have something, but that is kind of up to her other 3 situations.
Yeah.
To put something together. For
she
that.
probably felt like if I ask him, he might say no. So I'm just gonna make the best judgment with this $500.
That's called manipulation. Yeah. So you can't manipulate a person.
We
you
gotta
can't
go.
say
Okay.
they might do that. You gotta keep it going. So anyway,
All right, well, we got to get ready to go because we have our
Yes, we
first
got our
guest
wonderful
coming
guest in the
up, y'all.
building.
Coming up